I will be discussing my zine project. First, we have our table of context. We're going to be going over 6 different slides today. First, going off of the introduction, then time management, procrastination, personal responsibility, academic success, and my task overload. Starting strong with our introduction. My name is Fiona Manrique. This is our Counseling 2 class. And a little bit about myself. I am 19 years old. I graduated from Charter Oak High School, and I have been going to Mount Sac for about 2 years to pursue my career in X-ray technology, as well as get my associate's degree in kinesiology. Overall, this counseling class has been extremely insightful and helpful, and is definitely going to help me out with the long run. So hopefully for whatever takeaways you're able to take away from my project, it helps you out in the long run. First, we have our time management skills. Time management is extremely important as a college student. You're juggling so many different things in your life now. You're no longer only worried about school, you have responsibilities, and unlike high school, there's no one really to tell you what you need to do and what you can't do. So you have a lot of freedom, but with freedom comes more responsibility and being on top of the things that you need to be on top of. With that being said, time management is going to be your best friend. These are my 2 favorite techniques that I learned through the module of time management in Counseling 2. We have our Pomodoro technique, which is it allows you to work for about 50 minutes and then take a 20-minute break in between. It depends on how long you want your blocks to be, but the main takeaway from this technique is doing whatever task that you need to do with blocks in between for you to take a break so you don't feel overwhelmed. Next, we have the Eat the Frog method. The method is kind of like making sure that you handle whatever task that you need to handle in a list, and just overgoing every single one of them and being able to work through it, and making sure that whatever task you're doing it with 100% effort, as well as just doing those straight on, and taking out whatever task is most important, and making sure that whatever task is most important is done, and then go off for little ones, because you'll feel more accomplished after the first task. Third, we're going to go over procrastination. Now, procrastination is a slow killer for college students. A lot of college students now, and a lot of students in general, we all deal with procrastination. It's just kind of in our human blood. We have a tendency to see something, know that we don't need to do it, and then not do it until the last minute. I know that I'm a victim of it, especially because I just have a tendency of just putting off till later. Procrastination is very harmful though. It creates unnecessary stress and reduces the effort or how well you're able to do whatever task you're going to be rushing it. The 2 reasons that I read through our Counseling 2 module for procrastination is they kind of work well hand in hand. The first one is underestimating how long it will take, and overestimating your abilities of how fast you can do it. So with overestimating, you kind of have this confidence that you're able to finish this, and I'll be able to finish this in this set amount of time, and I don't really need to worry about it because I'm gonna get it done and whatnot. When in reality, you might not get it done on time, and you really don't know until you've actually done it. Underestimating how long it will take. See, this is, like I said, goes hand in hand with what the other one is. Underestimating how long it will take. Sometimes you have some false confidence that you think it's going to take this amount of hours, and I can just squeeze it in this time frame of my life, or this time frame of my day, when that is really not the case for most scenarios. You're with both of these combined, you're going to turn in or do whatever task that you were supposed to do with not as much effort. Not as much effort with not as much, I guess you won't be able to turn it in with that much confidence because you kind of rush through it, which, you want to put your best work out there first. Next, and I think is most important, is our personal responsibility. Personal responsibility is extremely important now that all of us are a little older. We're all in our teenage years, if not older. We're understand to take ownership of whatever responsibilities and consequences that come with the actions that you do. We're no longer pointing fingers on whoever did what, and we want to make sure that we do understand the consequences of our own actions. Personal responsibility and the ways that I feel like you need to express that is, first off and first forward, is accountability. Accountability is just making sure that you know that what you did, or whatever the case, you take accountability for whatever actions that you've done. I like to think of it like I keep saying, the consequences of your own actions. You need to kind of, again, take accountability for what you've done or what you have done or what you haven't done. And when you kind of have that self-realization, you're developing personal responsibility. You're being responsible. Self-discipline is just staying focused on your goals, making sure that you won't derail from your progress. Self-discipline is really important. As a college student, you have so much freedom and so much time on your hands now, hopefully. And if you don't, you also have so many other tasks. Regardless, you have to be disciplined in what you're doing, just because you don't want to send out work that you're not proud of, as well as you don't want to have any distractions from making sure that you just put your best foot forward. Next is time management. Time management, like I said in the last slides, have been very, it's a sneak killer, with procrastination crawling up on your side. You have it like people have tendencies where they'll procrastinate, and you have to be self-disciplined, and you have to be disciplined on whatever task that you need to do, making sure that you're doing it in a timely manner, and making sure that whatever you decide to do, you need to put your best foot forward. And time management does help a lot with managing everything in your life. You want to make sure you're doing this and that and the third. Consistency is the key of showing of personal responsibility. You don't want to be up and down, fluctuating on what you feel is like you have a good week or a bad week. That you want to keep a consistent line of personal responsibility and making sure that you constantly show these attributes that you're working towards. Academic success. So, the two key features of having academic success, in my opinion, are effective time management and setting clear goals. Now, these kind of work hand in hand. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with goals that you're not going to be able to achieve. You want to set realistic goals, but goals that you know that you can complete. Not so much as easy goals like making sure you brush your teeth in the morning. No, it has to be goals that you want to work towards. For example, I want to work towards getting a internship for X-ray technology, and the only way I'm able to do that is if I finish my schooling, making sure I'm top of my classes, not top of the class, but top of my classes, because this is a personal goal. It's me against myself, and making sure that I definitely work towards that with the confidence that I need. And like I said, effective time managing. I feel like as a college student, you're using you have a lot of freedom, and you're using a lot of time, for whatever responsibilities that you need to hit. With academic success, you want to make sure that you're passing all your classes, you're doing well in all your classes, but you're also understanding what's going on in your classes. This like I said, setting clear goals. Like, I'm going to study tomorrow night at this time, but you also need to use time management because you have work or you have to go to this and you have to run this errand, but you also want to squeeze in studying, things like that. Next is task overload. This is a time management skill that I have brought up by mixing the two time management skills that I had talked about briefly, which was the Pomodoro technique and the Eat the Frog strategy. So to basically like explain it, we have, you want to do the hardest task first. So whatever task that you need to achieve, for example, mine yesterday was my child psychology final. I know that that was needed, and then have all these other little tasks like go to the gym and go see my grandma and study a little bit to finish a little bit of my counseling one. But my main focus was my child psychology final. It was due that night. Make sure I did it in the morning. With all that momentum, you're able to finish every other task because your biggest task is out of the way. You're done with it. So then you want to focus on sprints. You want to set blocks on doing whatever task it is after that. Because I finished my first task, it gave me momentum. I'll take a little break. I finished my final, took a little break, showered, cleaned up my room, whatever the case is. And then I went to the gym and I spent 90 minutes at the gym, took a little break, went to go eat. And then I went to go finish my counseling final. That wasn't due until the next day. So with all these little time management strategies, I was able to go throughout my day with no worries. Which brings me to the last one, which is end of and reflect. So you want to reflect on the task that you've done and the task you weren't able to do. So you're able to finish it up the next day. So basically, you want to make sure you have a list of the most important tasks to the least important tasks and kind of go through them and throughout the day trying to hit every single task that you're able to, but you also want to avoid overloading your list. Keep it realistic, keep it at a set so you don't feel too disappointed if you didn't get to finish one thing. For example, if I wasn't able to, really study for my next final that day, I'm able to do it tomorrow. That might be my big task that I need to finish in the morning. It's kind of like that. Overall, a summary of this course, I would rate it a 10 out of 10. I genuinely had so much fun doing these projects and doing these assignments. I feel like I really got to know myself and understand what works best for me. I feel like this class and Professor Santa Cruz in general have been so helpful. I was able to talk to Professor Santa Cruz and was able to, have somewhat of a relationship, especially with being online. There's no friendship that is really formed because everyone is in their own time, everyone is in their own lives, and we're just trying to finish school as fast as possible. But I was able to communicate and talk to my teacher, and overall, Santa Cruz made this class super enjoyable, making himself super approachable. I was able to talk to him about also whatever things that were going on in my life, which was, for example, I was really scared of not going into this one class. He helped me figure it out. I overall rate this class a 10 out of 10. I really can't really say much from that. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this class as much as I did.